Good evening, everybody. How are you doing tonight? My name is Todd Scholl. I'm the lead learner at the SCEA's Center for Educator Wellness and Learning. We call ourselves COOL. Tonight, we're going to be taking a tour of the SCEA's website. We've got so many resources on there, and it's a lot to navigate. And so we kind of want to take you on a tour of some of the new resources that we've placed on there so that our members and folks who are investigating the SCEA can kind of find their way around and know where these resources are, and just be aware of the many amazing resources that we have. I want to, before we get started, and let me change this banner out. I want to, before we get started, just talk about a couple things we have coming up. There's a lot of talk around recent events with our South Carolina Association of School Librarians, and we are excited that we are going to be having a conversation with some South Carolina school librarians, including Cassie Owens Moore, who's from Oconee County. That's going to take place September 21st from 7 to 8 p.m. We're going to be hearing from Veronica Primus on circle teaching and the importance of rest on September 19th from 7 to 7:30. And I, of course, want to remind you of the Dairy Berry of a Day coming up. That is September 30th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that's at the SCEA headquarters. And you can actually register for that at this website right here, the scea.org/Dairy Day. We would love to have you come for a day of play and relevant, engaging, fun, professional learning. I mean, you're going to have tons and tons of fun with Jed, and you'll get a signed copy of his book, The Playful Classroom. So you're definitely going to want to sign up for that event. So the last thing I want to mention before we bring on tonight's guests is this. If you are watching and you're not currently a member of our movement at the SCEA, you can join us at jointhescea.org or by texting the word join to 48744. If you're not ready to join yet, but you'd just like to learn some more about who we are, you can fill out the form right here, the scea.org/YRO. So let's bring on tonight's two guests. We have Heaven Hale, who's our public affairs specialist at the SCEA, and Colleen O'Connell, a very familiar face. Some of you may remember her, who worked with the SCEA, now moving on up to the NEA world as their senior communications project lead. Welcome to both of you. Thanks for being here tonight.
It's my pleasure, as always, to be with my people here in South Carolina. Really miss y'all, but excited to still get to work with y'all and for y'all.
Yeah, let's go ahead and have you introduce yourselves. We'll start with Heaven, and then Colleen, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah, happy to be here. My name is Heaven Hale, and I am the Public Affairs Specialist for the SCEA. It's a role that I've been in for a little over 6 months now. I took over from Colleen, so I've been able to learn from the best. And I oversee anything emails, websites, social media. If it is in the communications umbrella, then I am probably the person behind it. So if you've gotten an email from us, that's probably me sending it. And if you follow us on social media, that's me making those posts.
Awesome.
Hey, y'all. So you may know me as the former public affairs specialist for this South Carolina Education Association. Prior to that, I was actually a middle school educator and local vice president in Reynoldsburg, Ohio. So I know the power of having a voice to make change for students because my union made it possible. And that's why I'm really passionate about this work. And tonight we're going to explore how we do that through our website.
Awesome. And, for people who don't manage websites, I think they don't realize how much work goes into just keeping just the upkeep of it alone. But just getting the design right, making sure that it's fresh, things are updated. There's constantly new material. It is just a lot of work. So thank you both for everything you do to keep our website looking awesome. And I think the SCEA's website, if you've watched it evolve, it's become such a really great resource, and it's really well designed and easy to navigate, and that's thanks to both of you. So do you want to just go ahead and start the tour? I'll pull up the site, and you guys can take it away.
Yeah. So we're going to start with the homepage. And what we're going to do with this is it's not going to be an exhaustive explanation of everything. We just want to give you guys the highlights and really like what you need to know and how you can make our website work for you. So the idea with our homepage is the information that's most important that most people are going to be looking for. You'll notice it starts with information about joining, because chances are a lot of people coming to our website for the first time want to learn more about us, want to know why they should join. So that's what we've got there at the top. After that, we have a little bit about who we are, what we do, and then our leadership. You'll see the little block with our president, Sherry East, and then a quote from her talking about what we do with the SCEA and the power that we have together. If you continue down, we have a little bit more specific what we do and ways that you can get involved with us. And if you click the little plus buttons, it will show you a little bit more. So if we use this first one, be a voice for students, if you click the plus, you'll see students have a right to a safe, welcoming, and affirming learning environment and a school that values them is free of bias. Learn about issues affecting our students and how you can help them succeed. If you click on those will take you to other parts in our website to give you more information or let you take action. And each of those boxes on the homepage is going to have links that take you other places depending on what you're looking for. At the bottom, after that, we have, if you want events, you want to learn more about us, what we're doing, kind of this pink box here. This is the SCEA in a nutshell. If you just needed a 3-sentence explanation of who we are and what we're doing, this is it. And then at the bottom, we've got values tweets. You could click that and it should, if it's working, pre-draft a tweet that you can then send out. We've got featured articles on the side, which we'll get into a little bit later about the resources available in our resource library. And then if you're looking for a specific issue at the bottom here, you're going to see a bank of a bunch of different things, and scroll through it. If you're looking for something, you see it on here, click it. That's going to take you to all the information that we have on that specific subject. So if I want information on mental health, I can click that. That's going to take me to what we have on our website regarding mental health. You can also, if you're looking for something specific, on the menu on the left-hand side, if you click search the SCEA, then you can type in what you want and that will show up. Colleen's going to explain search and resources and all of that.
All right, so before I dive in and show you what our very powerful search can do, one thing I want to draw your attention to is our navigation here. One thing I love about the SCEA's website is that this navigation is based around what drew you to the website. It doesn't pigeonhole you into, are you a teacher? Are you an education support professional? Because every person that works in public schools or who supports them can belong to the SCEA, and we all want students to succeed. We all want to advocate for change. In addition, if you haven't had a chance to look at it, if you're looking to learn a little bit more about the SCEA, I highly recommend checking out the mission, vision, and values to see exactly what your union stands for and the very rich history behind it. Here in our search, I'm going to show you just really quickly what you can find if you were to, for example, hopefully typing in correctly, type in classroom management. So you get over 408 results of different items that are relevant to classroom management. You can filter those by different categories here. Like, let's say you're looking for advice. We can filter it that way. Or maybe you just want to scroll and see, okay, there's some news about it. I know if I was a first-year teacher, or when I was a first-year teacher, this would have been an article I would have really loved to take a look at. One of the other things that's really great, in addition to this powerful search, we have some filtered lists that are available through the site. And one really great one is here in professional resources. It's called the Resource Library. And it features some resources up here at the top. One great thing you can do is you can filter by what type of thing you're looking for, whether it's like an activity to be able to use in the classroom. If it's an issue that you're concerned about, like we talked about mental health before, or maybe it's something to do with your specific role. And one really great thing that we have is for parents. We have some great resources that parents can use here. So it includes like reading for school-age children, tips that you might have for them, getting your students ready for school. And I'm going to go back to our page here. And another really cool thing that has recently been added to the site is if you're looking by type, there are now these toolkits that are made both by the SCEA and that they're able to bring over from NEA that give a lot of different information, including, this is my absolute favorite one right now, the Solidarity Summer Toolkit. So if you are watching the news about unions right now, not only are unions more popular than they've ever been, right now unions are organizing like crazy. So if we scroll through, you can find out information about what's going on with different organizing campaigns within unions, including like the Teamsters, SAG-AFTRA, and you can also find ways to get involved to help stand in solidarity with them. And in addition to this, one thing I highly recommend looking at is looking at the calendar. You can often find it here, or you can just go to the scea.org/events, and you will see a lot of different events featured here. So we have some highlights here. I know we've heard a lot about the Dairy Berry of a Day, and I wish I was still in South Carolina so I could come to that one. And then you can filter events by what type of event, what region of the state it's taking place in. You can change that to a list view. You can also, this is one event I just want to draw attention to because I know that this is something we're all thinking of right now with student loan repayment starting. There's an event coming up that you can register for that's available on the SCEA's calendar where you can get more information about student loan repayments starting back up. You can register right there on the site. And that's going to take us to our next part, which is learning a little bit more about what's happening in the news through the SCEA. So on the left-hand side, advocating for change. This part that says new from the SCEA, these are all articles and news that are relevant to things that are going on in education, educators, things educators and education staff care about. And one of the ones that's really cool here is how PE boosts student mental health. And as you're going through, you'll get information about what's going on throughout the country because as part of the largest labor union in the country, there are over 3.2 million stories to tell. And each of them is important because there are 3.2 million plus members. And in addition, one of the other amazing things like you might find as you're going through, because you might start reading these articles and get pretty fired up about the different issues. And you might find yourself going to the Action Center after that. This is my personal favorite part of the site. So this is where you can go to learn about different things that the union has advocated for and won on through our victories. So it shows some of those recent ones, like the paid parental leave, with South Carolina being the first state in the Southeast region to offer that for educators. You can also go there to learn more about different issues. One of the issues that people are always looking to learn more about, of course, there's a lot of issues, would be vouchers. So you could go to an issue like this, learn more about it, and get fully informed and see what the SCEA is doing about it. And you can also, after you've taken a look there, maybe you want to learn about more what the SCEA is doing at the State House. So you've learned what we've accomplished before, you've learned about the issues, and you're informed. So what are we doing about it? On this page, you can find the legislative agenda that members approve. You can also find the legislative report card to see how your legislators are doing, to see if they make the grade. You can find the latest newsletter and different bills. In fact, if you wanted to get all of the bills that the SCEA is advocating around, there's this page where you can get a little bit of information about a bill, what issue it relates to. And if you were to click on this here, it would open up and take you to the actual legislation itself. You can also, as you scroll through this page, if there's an action that's related to that bill, it'll immediately show you on the right-hand side of it, which is excellent. And then, speaking of taking action, through the Action Center, you can do that at the top bar, or you can always, if you're just at the scea.org, click right here on Take Action and get right to a list of relevant actions you can take. If you only have 5 minutes or less, you can click that you're in a hurry. Right now, all of the actions are 5 minutes or less. You can filter them by issue, what type of action. Right now, there aren't as many as there would normally be since you're not currently in legislative session. However, I do want to draw your attention to the highlighted action, because I know one thing that's of huge concern in South Carolina right now is standing up for the freedom to read and standing with school librarians and educators who are currently under attack for standing for the students who are represented in those inclusive books. So this action here, if you fill this out, you can share what you're willing to do to protect the freedom to read. In addition, if you wanted to get that I Stand with SCASL image, you can get it right here on the SCEA site. And I am going to head back to the homepage so that Heaven is able to show us what you can look at if you are a member.
Yeah, so now we're going to talk about my personal favorite part of the website. It is brand new. I think we launched this 2 weeks ago, so it is brand new, but this is members only content. And what this is going to be is resources, actions, materials, information that is only available to our members. So if you'll look here on the homepage, anyone can see this page, and this is just going to tell you what is available once you create your login. So if you want more information about the SCEA, if you're trying to contact a specific person, you want to know who your local officers are or who your delegate on our board is, or if you need our help desk, if you're a member and you have an issue, all of that information is going to be in here. If you want to make change, you need advocacy tools. You're working with your local on a campaign. If you need flyers or other files or material to put up at your workplace to encourage your colleagues to join, all of that's available in that section. If you want to learn how to lead within your local affiliate, we have a section for that. If you're starting an affiliate, so maybe your district hasn't had a local affiliate in a few years, you want to get it back going, we've got information about that. Resources to get you started. If you need to look at handbooks, constitution and bylaws to make sure that yours match what our state and national look like, we've got that for you. If you want to learn more about your rights, because as a union employee, even though we are a right to work state, you still have rights. We have all of that information here. It has, what do I do if I am in a meeting with my administration? What if I feel like I'm being targeted? What if my district does something that I don't think they're supposed to do? We have information here to help you figure out if what you can do and who you talk to and how to move forward with that. And then benefits, because in addition to these awesome resources and support, you do get benefits with joining the SCEA. And that's going to be things like access to attorneys at discounted rates, liability insurance, NEA member benefits, which are discounts and programs through NEA that are exclusively for our members, and all of that. We're going to continue adding to this. This is just the very foundational material. Throughout the next few months, we're going to continue to add and have all kinds of new and exciting things. So once you create an account, which we're going to walk through in just a minute, if you check back regularly, we'll be continuing to add things, and we'll communicate out as we add things to try to make this as all-encompassing of a resource for y'all as it possibly can be. So if you don't have an account, then you will click create a login, or at the bottom where it says sign up or log in. If you don't have an account, you'll click sign up. Sign up and create a login will both take you to this page. You are going to need your member ID, and your name is going to need to match what we have on file. A few people have gone in to create their login. It said your membership is not active. That could mean that either your member ID is incorrect, it's missing a number, or somehow it is just not matching what we have, or maybe your name has been spelled wrong, or if you've gotten married and you changed your name, but we haven't updated it in our system. So what you can do is just shoot an email to, membership@thescea.org or communications@thescea.org. And we can get that sorted out for you and figure out what the issue is if you encounter that. But most people won't. So you'll put in your first name, last name, member ID, email address, and then you'll create your password. I don't think, Colleen, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think it requires you to have a strong password, but it is going to show you the strength of your password. We always recommend creating a strong password because you don't want somebody to hack into your account. Once you do that, you'll click create new account, and then it should give you access to all of that. If you've already done that, when you come back, because if you don't visit the website for a few days, it will log you out. You just click login, and then email address and password, and you'll be good to go.
That's awesome.
And one last thing about this, if you're not sure if you're logged in or not, next to the 4 members, there's a little lock. If it is blue and it's unlocked, that means you're logged in. If it's yellow and it's locked, that means you're not. So it's a pretty easy way to look right there and see if you're logged in or if you're not. Yep.
Sweet. And we'll be adding tons of content to that over the coming year for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's really great. So we had one comment and someone else thanking us for this amazing work. Thank you guys thank you so much for the work that you're doing. I really appreciate it. It's a lot of work to do this and to keep it organized and keep it looking consistent from page to page. And it looks great, and it's so easy to navigate. It's so clean. I really like the way it looks. So, right. Any final thoughts before we sign out?
So before we sign off, I, of course, just want to remind people that having a comprehensive website with resources that come from members like you all across the country is only possible because you are part of the largest labor union in the country. And if you are not yet part of the largest labor union in the country, head to the website now and join. You belong here in the union, and it's only together that we can create that change that you deserve.
And the one thing I would add is that because we are a union, we are made up of our members, and we listen to our members. So if you're on the website, you're on gated content, you're on a page, and you're like, I really wish the website had this. shoot me an email, communications@thescea.org. I am happy to hear your suggestions. If it's possible, I can make it happen. We're always looking for new ideas. We want this to be helpful to you because it's your website. It's your dues money that's making this possible, and it's your website. We want it to work for you. So if there's something that we can add or something we can change to make it do that, let us know and we'll make it happen.
Absolutely.
Try to make it happen.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you both for all the work that you do and for taking us on a tour of the website tonight. And we look forward to seeing it continue to evolve and be such a great resource for our members and for people just looking into what we're doing. And we really appreciate all the time and effort and thought that you put into making this resource available. All right, everybody. That was Heaven Hale and Colleen O'Connell. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And as Colleen mentioned, we're really working hard not just to have an association, but to have a movement, to have a strong union for educators. And when we say educators, we mean everybody working in public K-12 schools in South Carolina. Administrators, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, custodial workers, classroom educators, school librarians, front office staff, everybody can be a part of the union that we're trying to build. And we'd love to have you as a part of that movement now. And if you're interested, you can go to this at the bottom of your screen. Go to jointhescea.org, or if you're on your phone, you can type in the number 48744 and just text the word join, and the instructions will follow up for that. If you'd like to just get to know us a little bit better, you can go to the scea.org/YRO. Just fill out that form and we'll get in touch with you and get to know you a little bit better. And you can ask your questions about what we are and what our dues are and why there are dues and what benefits there are. But more importantly, what it is we stand for, what it is we're about. We're so proud to stand with our South Carolina Association of School Librarians. We're proud to stand by our classroom educators. Everybody who's working hard to help cultivate the next generation of South Carolina, which is our children. Those people deserve to be paid well, to be treated well. They deserve the working conditions that they need to be successful so that our students can be successful. And we hope you'll join our movement to help make that happen. We thank you for tuning in tonight. One final reminder, I just want to remind everybody, because you don't want to miss this. Jed Derryberry is one of not just South Carolina's, but one of the nation's leading professional learning experts. People pay lots of money to go to his sessions. This session is very, very affordable. It's discounted for our members. It is coming up on a Saturday, September 30th. So I think that's 3 weeks from this Saturday. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the SCEA headquarters. We're going to have signed copies of his book, The Playful Classroom, and I promise you, you're going to have so much fun. It's going to be some of the most fun professional learning you've ever experienced in your life. I promise you that. We will be back next week. We will be talking to some South Carolina school librarians. Actually, that is September 21st. We'll be back, and also on September 19th with Veronica Primus. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for those of you who are members of the SCEA. Thank you for being a part of our family. And I would encourage every member who's watching, go and try to find somebody in your building who isn't currently a member and help bring them into our movement. Because the more people we have, the more collective power we can build and the greater change we can make. Have a great night.